Picture this. You've just made yourself some lunch. Mashed an avocado onto your toast maybe, or cut one into a salad. And now you're standing at the counter with the two empty halves in your hand and that big round seed sitting there, and you do what everybody does. You knock it into the trash. In it goes, with the peels, and you wash your hands and forget all about it. You've done that 100 times, 1,000 maybe. And every avocado you buy costs you $1.50, $2 more when they're out of season. And every one of them has that big seed in the middle that you've been throwing away your whole life without a second thought. But here's the thing you never knew. That seed you just threw in the trash is alive. It's not a pit, not really. It's a whole tree, folded up small and waiting. Give it nothing but a glass of water and a sunny windowsill, and it will crack open and send down a root and send up a green shoot and grow you a real living avocado tree for free from the very thing you were about to throw away. Most folks have thrown 100 little trees in the bin without ever knowing what they held. I want you to stop and think about this for a second. You don't need a green thumb to grow an avocado from its seed. You don't need luck. That seed wants to grow. It's what it was made to do. All the growing is already written inside it. A whole tree packed into that pit, just waiting for a little water and warmth to wake it up. You don't make it grow. You just give it what it needs and get out of its way, and nature does the rest. The same nature that's been turning seeds into trees since long before there were people to watch. And you've been throwing that little miracle in the trash. There is no older wonder in all of growing than a seed. Every child who ever poked a bean into the dirt and ran out each morning to see if it had come up knows the magic of it. Every farmer who ever saved back seed from one year to plant the next lived by it. To take a seed, a small, dry, hard thing that looks like nothing at all, and coax a living plant out of it, that is the first and truest magic there is, known and passed down since the very beginning. And there's a thrift in it as old as the wonder, the wasting of nothing, not even a seed. You can learn the whole of it right here, and it won't cost you a cent. Let me tell you who I am. My name is Jacob Miller. I'm an Amish farmer out in the Holmes County settlement here in Ohio, and my wife is Rebecca. Now let me be honest with you right off, the way I always am. The avocado is no crop of mine. It won't grow in an Ohio field. It's a warm country tree from far off places, and I'd never pretend my grandmother grew one or that it belongs to the old ways I was raised in. This is a newer thing, and I'll tell you plain. It's a fun little project more than a harvest. But the heart of it, coaxing a living tree out of a seed you'd have thrown in the compost, and the quiet wonder of watching a seed wake up and grow, that's the oldest and truest joy in all of gardening, and one I dearly love to share, most of all with the little ones. So let me show you how it's done. Honest and simple. Before we get into it, if you like learning the old ways of doing things, do two small things for me. Tap that like button down there. It helps this little channel more than you'd ever guess. And subscribe so you can keep learning right alongside Rebecca and me. That's all I'll ask. Now, let's grow an avocado. Here's everything I'll show you, in order. First, getting the seed out of a ripe avocado, then peeling it, a little step most folks skip, then finding which end is the top and which the bottom, then setting in the toothpicks, then standing it in water, then keeping that water fresh. And this is the most important of all. And last, watching it grow and moving it on to soil when it's ready. Do these few simple things, and for nothing at all, from a seed that was bound for the trash, you'll grow a fine little avocado tree of your own, right there on your windowsill, and get to watch one of nature's small miracles unfold from up close. So let's get into it. Now here's the thrifty way to begin, so nothing goes to waste. Use an avocado that's ripe and ready to eat. That way you get your meal out of it, and your seed both. You eat the good green flesh, and you plant the pit that was going in the bin anyway. Waste nothing. That's the whole spirit of this. To get the seed out clean, take a knife and cut the avocado right around the middle, down to the pit, and be careful of your fingers, mind. Then give the two halves a little twist in opposite directions, and they'll come apart, with the seed sitting in one side. Ease it out gently with a spoon so you don't nick it. Then clean it up. Scrape or wipe off any bit of green flesh still clinging to it, till the seed is clean and bare. A clean seed is what you want to start with. That seed has a thin brown skin on it like a papery jacket. What you want to do is gently peel that brown skin off. Use your fingernail to get it started at an edge and work it off all the way round. Just go careful and don't split the seed itself while you're at it. You want it whole. Now, why bother? Two good reasons. Peeling that skin off helps the seed sprout quicker. It doesn't have to fight through that jacket first, and it keeps the seed from splitting wrong or rotting as it sits in the water. Here's a nice thing too. If your avocado was good and ripe, the way I told you, that brown skin will slip off easy as anything. If it's fighting you hard, your avocado maybe wasn't ripe enough. Peel it clean, and it's ready for the next step. This matters, and if you get it upside down, nothing will happen at all. Look your seed over. Most avocado seeds are a little egg-shaped, one end a touch broader and flatter, the other more pointed. The broad, flat end is the bottom. Look close and you'll often see a little spot or scar there. That's where the seed hung onto the tree and where the root is going to come out. So that broad, scarred end goes down into the water. The pointy end is the top, where your green shoot will rise up. Bottom down, point up. Remember it. And one more thing to notice while you're looking. You'll see a few faint lines like cracks or seams running down the sides of the seed. Those are called fault lines. Take note of where they are, because in the next step, when we put the toothpicks in, we must not put them through those lines. The toothpicks are what's going to hold your seed up so it can hang half in the water and half out, like a little bridge across the top of a cup. So take 3 toothpicks. You can get by with 2, but 3 holds it steadier, so use 3 if you have them. Now poke them into the seed, spaced evenly around its middle, like the spokes of a wheel. 2 things to mind as you do it. First, and here's where those fault lines matter, don't drive a toothpick through a fault line. Aim instead for the thicker, solid body of the seed between them, so you don't split it. Second, push them in at a slight downward angle, tilting down a little rather than straight out. That downward tilt helps the seed sit right and hang low enough into the water. Get your 3 toothpicks in good and firm, and your seed is ready to set over its cup. Now get yourself a cup or a jar or any little glass that holds water. Set your seed over the top of it so the 3 toothpicks rest on the rim, and hold the seed suspended down in the mouth of the cup. Then pour in water until it comes up and covers the bottom part of the seed. You want the water at least halfway up the seed so that broad root end is sitting well down in it. That bottom half stays in the water, the top half stays up in the air. Now, about the cup. A clear glass is the handiest to my mind because you can watch the whole show through the side, see the root come down, and see at a glance when the water wants changing. A darker cup works just as well for the seed, but you can't see in. Either way, set it on a warm, bright windowsill where it gets good light. And that's it set. Now, nature takes over. This, right here, is what makes or breaks the whole thing. An avocado seed likes clean water, and here's the trouble you've got to guard against. Algae, the green slime that grows in the water and on the seed and root if the water sits too long and goes stale. You'll see it. The water turns green and murky, and a green scum creeps onto the root. Now hear me, because it's the very thing that ruins most folks' avocados. If you let that algae grow on the root and leave it, it will rot the root clean away and stop the seed growing, dead for good. So you keep the water fresh, top it up as it drops, and change it out for clean water when it starts to look the least bit green. If some algae does creep on, don't panic. Just gently rub it off the seed and root with your fingers or a bit of tissue, careful and soft, then give it fresh water and a clean cup. You don't need to change it every single day. Just keep an eye and don't let it go green. Clean water, and the root grows strong. Now comes the part that takes patience, and it's the sweetest part. For a few weeks, it'll look like nothing's happening up top, but down in the water, that root is reaching. Then the seed itself will crack open along one of those fault lines, and a thick root pushes down into the water, and before long a green shoot rises up out of the top. Around 7 or 8 weeks, you'll see the first leaves unfurl. And I'll tell you honest, it goes slower in cool weather. Up north here, or in a cold house, it takes its time. So don't fret if yours is slow. It's working. Keep an eye out for little green bugs, greenfly that come after tender young leaves. A gentle spray of soapy water sees them off. And then, once your seed has a good strong root and a little crown of leaves standing up, It's ready to leave the water and go into a pot of soil to grow on from there as a proper little tree. Settle it gently into good light soil and set it back in its sunny window. Let me run it back for you, quick and plain. First, cut open a ripe avocado, eat the flesh, and clean off the seed. Then peel the brown skin off it, gentle, so it sprouts faster and won't rot. Then find the ends, the broad scarred end down, where the root comes, and the point up. Then set 3 toothpicks into the thick body of the seed, not through the fault lines, tilted down a little. Then stand it over a cup with the bottom half in water on a warm, bright sill. Then, the heart of it, keep that water fresh and clean and never let the algae take hold. And last, watch it root and leaf out over the weeks. And when it's rooted well and grown a few leaves, pot it up in soil. That's the whole of it. And let me tell you what that gives you. A seed, a plain brown pit you'd have thrown in the trash without a thought, sitting in a glass on your windowsill, and one morning you look and it's cracked open, and there's a fat white root reaching down into the water, and a green stem climbing up toward the light, with little leaves unfolding at the top. A living tree grown by your own hand, out of a kitchen scrap and a glass of water. There is a quiet wonder in it that never gets old. And the little ones, they'll be at that window every single morning to see what's new. It won't cost you a penny, and it'll teach you more about how life works than a shelf full of books. That's what a seed will do, if you let it. Now let me say a word about why so few folks do this anymore. It isn't that anybody's hiding it from you exactly. It's something sadder and simpler than that. We've become a people who throw things away. A seed, to most folks now, is just garbage, a thing in the middle of the fruit to be knocked into the bin and forgotten. And it never once crosses the mind that it's a living tree. We've lost the old eye that saw a seed for what it is, and we've lost the patience for it too, the willingness to set a thing in a window and tend it slow, week after week, and wait on nature's own time, when everything now is wanted fast and finished. The wonder didn't go anywhere. We just stopped stopping to notice it, and that's a thing worth taking back. Now, I won't hand you a false promise, the way some might. I'll not tell you this saves you money on avocados, because it won't, and I'll come to that plain in a moment. But the value of it is real all the same. It costs you nothing, a scrap you'd have binned and a glass of water, and what it grows you is a handsome green plant that folks pay good money for. You'll see little avocado trees just like the one you grew for free sitting in the garden center for $15, $20. You take something worth nothing, bound for the trash, and with a little care you turn it into something living and lovely that others pay dear for. That's a fine trade in any book. So you don't need a garden or a warm climate or the first bit of luck. A seed, a glass of water, a sunny sill, and a little patience. That's all it takes to grow a tree. Now, the title calls this A Complete Guide to Growing an Avocado from the Seed, and it is, do these steps and you'll grow yourself a fine little tree, true and certain. But let me be honest with you about what you'll get, the way I always am, because I'd not have you disappointed. Don't look for this tree to fill a bowl with avocados. Here's the plain truth of it. A tree grown from a store-bought seed won't give fruit like the one it came from. The seed's a mix, and it comes out its own thing. It takes long years, many of them, for an avocado tree to fruit at all, if it ever does. And up here in the cold country, kept indoors, it will live as a houseplant, and most likely never fruit in its life. And do you know? That's all right. That was never the point. A living tree, grown by your own hand from a scrap, standing green in your window, that is wonder enough and joy enough, all on its own. Grow it for that, and you'll never be let down. So here's what I want you to do this week. The very next time you eat an avocado, and I'd wager that soon, stop before you throw that seed away. Just stop, rinse it off, peel the brown skin from it, poke in your 3 toothpicks, and stand it in a glass of water on the sunniest windowsill you've got. That's the whole beginning, and it costs you nothing but a minute. Set it there this week and start watching. In a few weeks' time, you'll have a root. In a couple months, a little tree. And a wonder to share with everyone who passes your window. Because here's what happens. This is the one the little ones love best of all. There's no better way in the world to show a child the plain magic of a growing thing Set that glass where small hands can reach and small eyes can see, and let them watch it, day by day. The crack, the root, the shoot, the leaves. There's a patience it teaches, and a wonder that they'll carry all their lives. And they'll learn, without a word of preaching, that even the smallest thrown-away thing can hold a whole tree inside it, if you give it a chance. That's how the love of growing gets handed down, not from a book, but one seed on one windowsill at a time. Now I'd love to hear from you. Tell me down in the comments, have you ever tried growing an avocado from its seed? Did it root and leaf out for you, or sit and sulk and rot on you? And what else have you grown from a kitchen scrap? A pineapple top, a sweet potato, a bit of celery? And if your mother or grandmother had a knack for sprouting seeds, share her trick down there with the rest of us. I read everyone. So the next time you hold an avocado seed in your hand, over the trash, ready to let it drop, stop a moment and see it for what it truly is. That's no piece of garbage in your palm. That's a whole tree, folded up and sleeping, roots and trunk and leaves and all, waiting on nothing but a little water and a little patience and a little of your care to wake. Near everything in this world that looks like nothing is holding something wonderful inside if we've the eyes to see it and the heart to tend it. Don't throw the wonder away. Set it in the window, watch it grow, and share the marvel of it with the people you love.